Hello, welcome back to Glodicani Marriage School. All right. In today's video, I want to be talking about something that has been a kind of bothering a lot of people. This comparison we usually do between love and infatuation. Right. In summary, I just want to say something. If you are having this intense feeling and this kind of crazy love or crazy feeling that is so intense, making you so afraid and all that, even though the feeling is so exciting, like you feel that you are now in heaven while on earth, please, it's better you calm down a little bit before you go into marriage, because infatuation doesn't make good marriages. If you enter into marriage because you're infatuated with somebody and you didn't discover whether this thing is really love or just that heightened feeling of excitement that is so intense and everything, you want to reject everybody, you don't even want to listen to anybody, please, you have to calm down a little before you now decide to get married to this particular person. The truth is, love makes marriages work. Infatuation makes relationships sweeter. All right. So when you want to talk about marriage with somebody, make sure you are really, really in love with this person, because that's the only thing that can make that relationship, love, marriage relationship sustainable. That's the only thing that can keep it. Because like I usually say in my videos, marriage has a lot of challenges. So if you don't have love, holding you together, like keeping you and helping you to forgive and forget and all those sacrifices you have to make, that marriage is not going to work. So you really need to be very careful. There has to be love before you say, I do. Unfortunately, a lot of people mistake infatuation for love, and that is where the mistakes come. Like, I've seen a lot of people, when they are in relationship, they are so excited, they are so happy. Immediately after the wedding, the trouble starts. Everybody starts counting fault. Everybody starts saying fault. Nobody wants to listen. Nobody wants to forgive. Nobody wants to let go. Nobody wants to make any sacrifice to make that marriage work. In such situations, it's so obvious that what pushed them into saying I do, I will, and whatever was infatuation and not love, not real love. So in this video, I'm going to kind of discuss infatuation and then talk about love. So you now decide whether you are infatuated right now or you are truly in love. And don't forget to watch the video I made about real love. I think you will learn one or two things from it too. Welcome back to Glow Dikani Marriage School, a place where we help the unmarried to choose right and keep the married from running away until they must. All right. If you're watching me for the first time, my name is Glory, and I love talking about everything love, relationship, and marriage in particular, because whether I will accept it or not here, I've seen a lot and I've heard a lot. So I'm really, really interested in bringing a little bit of what do we call it, order in the chaotic relationship called marriage. So if you have not subscribed to my channel, if you're not watching my page on Facebook, please do so. Even though you know everything I'm saying, there may be somebody around you who doesn't know. So also share my videos. You can drop your comments. I'll be welcome to anything you suggest. Even though I'm not going to waste our time talking about or defining infatuation, defining love, I think I can refer you to the video I made about real love. So you can go there and then watch more on that video to learn more. All right. But what I am going to really talk about is, ideas that will help you to discover whether you are in love with this myth you have about a particular person, or whether you are in love with the actual person. I remember when I was growing up, I was infatuated with someone, and unfortunately, what I was really seemingly in love with was, my myth, what I've created, the persona I've created about that person, not who he actually is. So it's very, very important for you to discover that infatuation makes you to love someone, like, have this feeling of that, the person you've created in your mind instead of the actual person. When you are infatuated, you are seeing the myth and not the real him or her. So how does it feel to be infatuated? Like, what are the signs of infatuation? Number one, intensity. That intense feeling for someone, like as if they are your all and all. When you start telling somebody, oh, you are my everything, you are my world, you are my life, I can't live without you, I will die if I don't see you. That intensity, when you are feeling this overly intense feeling of, or drive to be with somebody, you are infatuated, you are not in love. Secondly, infatuation comes with obsession. Like, if you are infatuated with someone, you want that person to reciprocate, that same height of feeling you have for him or her. Even when they are not like maybe driven as intense as you are, you want them to reciprocate. You want to receive the same thing. Your thoughts will be filled with them. Your mind, everything, your feelings is overwhelmed by the thought of that person, and you want that same feeling to be reciprocated by fire or by force. That's infatuation. Another thing to look out for is that feeling of madly in love. We are madly in love with each other. Is that how can you just for the maybe you see the person for the first time, you get madly in love? Maybe I will deal with that in a full video. Love at first, this idea of love at first sight. Most of us got to know about it through all these dramas, love dramas, and everything. And you should know that some of those things are often so exaggerated. Like even when something that is not real, when it comes to real life, you and I know that most of those things are not obtainable. So that idea of madly in love can only be infatuation and not real love. You don't get mad when you are in love. Okay, let me give you an example. That idea of madly in love or love at first sight. Why I say personally, in my own case, there was nothing like love at first sight. In fact, what I got at first sight was, attraction to the physical attributes, which of course are the things I love to see, or I would love to see in a husband or in a man. Like, that one is the man, he was a kind of how I wanted it. I mean, my husband, okay? Don't get it wrong. So after I first noticed the physical attributes that I wanted, the next time I now noticed some of the characters that I wanted. Like he was making people laugh, not just me, but people around me. So all those attributes kept like drawing me closer to him. Before you now talk about whether you started developing the feeling of love. And maybe I will tell the story another day. It was not, I didn't just marry him because of love. I was a bit selfish when I decided to marry him, because there were things I was looking out for before I decided to say, okay, let me commit my whole life to this man. It was not an easy decision, so I was being careful. And let me drop this before I continue. If you're thinking of marriage right now and you're not married, you better start being scared of who you're going to choose. Be scared so that you don't jump in and then regret the decision. One other way we've discovered that infatuation comes is this idea of giving all your attention to him or her. Like you leave every other thing you're supposed to be doing, your life will stand still. Your activities, your other relationships, your obligations, your responsibilities, you find it hard to concentrate on them. Like everything you just want to do is him or her. Every minute you want to be with them. In fact, every other thing, other things are secondary because you've seen this person to you. You are crazily in love. No, 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 no. You are infatuated. You are not in love. Come down to earth a little bit, okay? Why I said come down to earth is if you're no longer just excited about spending maybe some time with him, and now you are just wanting, like desiring, like pushing to spend all your time with him or her, you are infatuated. So let me reiterate what I said earlier. If you are seeing that it is becoming too obsessive, it is becoming too controlling, it is becoming too intense, please backpedal. Why I'm saying this, I'm only interested in all this because of marriage. I've seen a lot of people, this drive to get married to the same person. They want, in fact, all the opinions of other people do not matter. Even when people outside the relationship tells them that this is wrong, we are seeing something that will not work well if you end up marrying this person. No, 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 no. They don't want to hear. Nobody has sense except them. Now, immediately after the wedding day, problem sets in. Year one of marriage, problem. Year two, problem. In fact, from the first year, everything is becoming, a kind of a race between cat and rat. That's why I'm saying you really need to be careful. If that relationship is too intense for you, or is too controlling, or the guy is controlling you, or the lady is trying to manipulate you with all those antics and all that, my dear, go back a little bit and check, reassess, reanalyze, and see if this is love or infatuation. I'm not just going to send you or give you this assignment. I'm going to assist you a little so that you really question the relationship and sit down to analyze it for yourself, because I'm not there. So you analyze it by yourself to identify or determine whether you are infatuated or whether you are in love. The first thing I want you to ask yourself, is this feeling mutual? Does this person love me or reciprocate the feeling I'm giving to him or her? Love is calm. All right. Love is a gentle feeling. That's gentle feeling of, being, doing, or even sacrificing, giving, sacrificing, doing for, being with. It's gentle. It's not a roller coaster ride. So if this other person is reciprocating the same feeling you have, that means you guys are in love. Not you being the only person pushing, controlling, manipulating your own. The whole thing, the whole idea of being in love is trying to make you go wacko or crazy. You will have to backpedal. But when you guys have this same, level of acceptance of each other, then you are thinking of love here. The second thing you need to check is if this feeling you are having right now is making you to shake off your responsibilities. If you are infatuated with someone, or you are, swimming in the river of infatuation, you are going to lose interest in important things around you, your responsibilities, like I've said before. You want to shake them off. You don't want to keep your friends anymore. In fact, all your day will be fixated on that particular person. Any other thing, you lose interest in those things that are not related to this, your, the target of your infatuation. You're not interested in any other thing outside him or her. Sometimes you may wonder why this thing is happening to you. It's because the feeling is giving you that sense of urgency. Like, if I am not there, or if I'm not doing anything that relates to this person, this feeling will vanish away. You are not secured in that feeling, and to you, it's not going to last. Of course, even though you don't want to accept it, there's this sense of urgency. You want to do everything. You want to do everything just to make sure you keep this person. You don't want it to vanish. You don't want him or her to disappear and all that. So as a result of this, your fear or that feeling of urgency, you willingly let go of every other person. You willingly let go or ignore every other responsibility that should occupy your time meaningfully. Instead, you focus on trying to be around that person, or trying to please that person, or trying to make sure you protect the relationship at that point in time. So to you, you also see that person as more valuable than every other thing, and that's why you are, shaking off your entanglements or your relationships and responsibilities. To you, that's your object or subject matter in that your feeling, relationship, infatuation is most valuable to you. Fortunately, thank God, this is not how love works. Love allows and accepts boundaries. All right. Love allows you to be your own individual, whereby you do the things you're supposed to do, and then you get excited for anytime you have to spend with the person. Not you will spend all the time or all your time with the person. No, love allows you to have your own individual existence, not it being clouded by your own perception of how much time you will spend with someone else. Another thing you have to really check is if your mood is dependent on the subject of your infatuation. What do I mean by this? When he or she is happy is when you will be happy. When he or she is sad is when you will be sad. In fact, some people take it to the extreme that when they send a message, let's say for instance you send a text message, or anything like a message, email, or text to your the subject. Let me use that person, and 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, they've not answered you, or they've not replied you and everything. Oh, you start panicking. Or let's say you call them and they didn't pick. You start panicking. In fact, your day will be spoiled. You are no longer interested in doing things around you and everything. Check it very well. You are infatuated. This is not love. So if this person is capable of changing your mood for the day, like you don't have any other thing that will make you happy, except when they make you happy, or you even when you don't want to be sad, you feel sad maybe because they are feeling sad, or because they've made you sad or something. You have to be very careful. All right, this is infatuation. But when you are in love, you can live your life. You don't need to constantly check on your partner, or you don't check on your partner every minute. You living every other thing you're supposed to be doing. You are not on edge. You are relaxed. I mean, your mood is calm. You are assured. You are secured. That is love. You don't check on somebody. If something else is going to make you happy, of course you can be happy over other things instead of your happiness dependent on him or her. And if something is going to make you sad, of course you feel sad. It doesn't have to be because of him or her. That is in real love, when you are in love and not infatuated. The next thing I want you to ask yourself, the next question you have to ask yourself is if you are really being the you are. What do I mean by that? Everybody, we have our own individuality. We have our own personality. But if you have to hide your personality because of someone else, to you are in love with the person. That is not love. That's infatuation. You are not being the real you, maybe because you are afraid that if they discover who you are, they will run away from you. No, no, no. You are not in love. You are infatuated. Now, how does this thing manifest? When you play down on your interest, when you play down on your own personality, when you play down on the things you want to please the other person, you are infatuated. You are not in love. If you are in love with someone, you have to know to be you. Your interest will be there, your personality will show, and you are comfortable. They say comfortable wearing your own skin, like you are comfortable in your own skin. You are not trying to be overly good. You are not, of course you have to be, you want to be good, you want to look your best, you want to, even when you are tensed up, even when you're not happy, even when you're not relaxed, you just want to please that person all the time. Check it. If this is how you're existing right now, infatuation has gripped you. But when love is the thing gripping you, you can be yourself, of course, because you are secured. You know that even as I am myself, my partner accepts me. Like, I don't have to hide. I don't have to be what I am not, and I don't have to be who I am not. That is what real love does for you. Another question I want you to ask yourself is, if this your feeling of love, as you are calling it, is affecting your self-esteem, like you don't value yourself anymore, you want to check in on your partner to feel as if you're, you want something, like everything validation, you need validation from him or her before you have this self-confidence that I'm doing okay, or I am good, or whatever. You are infatuated. Why did I say this? When you are in love or in a healthy relationship, and not a relationship driven by infatuation, you guys will bring out the best in you. Like, he brings out the best in you, you bring out the best in him. Nobody, you celebrate your strengths together, accept and correct, or maybe trying to play down your weakness is the same. It's not like you hiding your weakness, or maybe celebrating his strength and hiding your weakness from him or her so that they don't maybe see your bad side. No. While the strengths are there, you also have to accept that the weaknesses are there too. That is what makes it a real love. Real love doesn't hide blemishes or stains or whatever. Like, it doesn't hide it from their partner. It's not like the partner will expose it to others. No, but your partner should be in the know that these are your strengths and these are your weaknesses. And then that is love. You guys know how to now cover for each other. Apart from, feeling so insecure that maybe your feelings are not reciprocated and all that, another thing that shows you are infatuated and not in love is this excessive jealousy. Some people take it to the extreme. You check their social media account when you are looking at their phones. You are trying to check whether there are other people admiring them. When jealousy, you know how you feel your own jealousy and all that. If it is excessive, you are in a relationship driven by what? Infatuation, and not real love. When they talk about love, love is all about trust, openness, communication. When you don't like what your partner is doing, you are free to say, I don't like this one, or this one. Why are you talking to this person? Stuff like that. It's not you sneaking around like a thief, trying to catch them, or be feeling so insecure that you not, overstep your boundaries. The truth about jealousy is that, yeah, we can feel jealous, one time, from some time to time. But when it is so excessive, when it is so intense, that means you are feeling insecure and you are feeling somehow threatened, or you're feeling that those feelings are not reciprocated, or you're feeling possessive. All these things comes from what? Infatuation, and not real love. We've talked about, signs of infatuation. We've also talked about how to know those things that shows you that you are infatuated and not maybe in love. Now, what about the signs that you are in love with somebody? Number one I want to drop is when their happiness is also your happiness. You celebrate their joys together. Like, when you see somebody you love happy, you can't help it, you become happy. All right, when you see the person in pain, or when you see the person sad, you also have the same feeling. You feel, you empathize with them. You understand? Then that means you are also what? In love. Secondly, when you are in love, you're not scared of arguments, But in a relationship driven by infatuation, you will be scared of arguing, lest the person gets so angry and leaves you and everything. No, when it is love, you guys can argue. After the argument, you make up immediately. You are not feeling threatened. You're not feeling so fearful. You're not afraid or scared that if you voice your opinion now, he or she will leave or whatever. No, you are free to voice your opinion. You are free to argue with what you know that is right and say, this one is right, this one is wrong. That's what makes it a love-filled relationship. Another important sign is this acceptance of the flaws. Good characters doesn't need acceptance. Everybody wants them. In fact, if your characters are good, we are happy, everybody is happy and all that. What some people struggle a lot to accept, sometimes, are the flaws. So if you love someone, you accept the flaw, he or she accepts yours too. That is a loving relationship. And when you know the flaws, you try your best to do what? To cover it outside and then try to live with it. Because once you accepted it, you will live with it. You will strategize on how to live with it. You're not forced to maybe, live with it, like I'm saying. You just, devise means of how you can accept it and then manage it. Most importantly is the idea of sacrifice. Love comes with sacrifices, all right? If you're finding it difficult to make sacrifice for somebody you supposedly love, that's not love. If you love someone, you will make sacrifices, even when it's paining you, when it's not convenient and all that. That's why in one of my videos I was saying signs of true love. When somebody is spending time that they don't need with you, that doesn't mean that that person loves you. The time that person spends maybe should be, the time when he or she has something important, but they decide to prioritize you, then you can now gauge such time spent with you as valuable. Not when somebody will just fix you somewhere, during those times when he or she is idle, then she can remember to spend it with you. No, 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 that's not it. So when somebody, instead of spending a particular time doing something personal that maybe would have been beneficial to them, like individually, and decide to say, okay, let me leave this thing, though it is beneficial to me, and let me prioritize this, my partner now. You will know that this person has sacrificed something for you. There are a lot of ways we sacrifice for our partners, both in marriage and in relationships. So sacrifice is a sign of love. Another sign of love is this respect for each other's individuality. Like, I am me, you are you. We have our preferences, we have our ways of doing things, we have what we like, we have what we hate, and all that. If you cannot respect mine and I respect yours, that's not love. I can't change myself, just leave everything that I love doing, or leave everything that I want just for you, and then you are happy. No, 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 that's not love. In a love filled relationship, you accept mine, I accept yours. I try as much as possible to do what? Accommodate yours while you try to accommodate mine. You don't expect me to drop mine, or do I expect you, or should I expect you to drop yours? That is a love filled relationship. So, my concern with all this is all about marriage. If you're in a relationship right now and you are thinking of maybe settling down one day, maybe you've not even decided to say will you or I will to the person who is your partner right now, I really want you to think hard, because I've seen a lot of couples after the wedding, after the excitement of being in relationship and being in love, they go ahead with the wedding plans. After the wedding day, the marriage comes in, and then problems everywhere. You really need to be very careful. Decide for yourself whether this my feeling right now is love or infatuation. Because, like I said earlier, infatuation cannot make good marriages. Love is what holds marriages together. All right, that feeling of a calmness, that feeling of acceptance, that feeling of sacrifice, that feeling is what can keep your marriage working for the next 100 years, 50 years, 40 years, and all that. On that note, I want to drop something for you. If you are still in a relationship now, you are not married at all, I want you to think about something. Am I seeing a future with this person? That is what real love does. If you are really in love with that person now, you will be thinking of the future, not thinking alone, but making practical plans, like plans you're already planning on spending the rest of your life with this person. All right. But if you are not right now, you're not even seeing yourself living with this person for the next 50 years. I said it in one of my videos. If you are choosing a partner, remove your mind from this marriage, wedding, love. No, tell yourself, I am choosing someone I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. You see, sometimes it may be 30 years, sometimes it may be 20. Some people who are so lucky get to 50. So this person, will I spend, am I willing? Do I think I can live with this person for the next 50 years? Let's use 50 years. So you really need to be careful. Make sure you know what you are feeling right now. Make sure it is real love. Remember, if you've not watched that my video on real love, go and watch it. I will add the link. Also, I will add some links in the description of some of these things I've talked about: love, infatuation, and all that, so that you can read more when maybe during your own free time. Don't forget, even though you know what I've just said, you've understood everything I've said now, before now, share my videos, okay? Somebody around you may need it. So don't just hold it, don't just watch it and leave it. You may be saving somebody's marriage in the future. I'll be seeing you in the next video. I love you.